Welcome back to this week's Car-Pinionated. This is kind of a limited episode, so it's just me. The guys will be back soon, and but I wanted to talk quickly about uh, Toyota's Big April. Um, they kind of went all out on their new models, and to explain some of how this works behind the scenes is that manufacturers often have press events to show off new models. And typically, they will show off the model, but none of the journalists get to drive it because it's pre-production. It might not all be screwed together as well as it should be. That's common stuff in the way cars are built these days. And so then at the end of the day, all the manufacturers who do this sort of thing host the journalists. The journalists more often than not disclose that they were hosted in this nice place and flown there and whatever. And there's an embargo date, and then everyone can publish their reviews or impressions or videos or stories or whatever. That's why you see a whole bunch. Like once you see one, you see dozens of them. And that's how that whole process works. So Toyota did a little bit of that. They did a little bit of here, now you can drive it, and for two models, and we're also seeing the Tundra reaching the sales room, the sales floor at dealerships around the country. So to begin, the big announcement, which garnered a lot of attention, and a lot of people have been waiting for this announcement, was they've announced the new 4Runner. And we'll be talking more about the 4Runner in coming episodes. But initially, right off the bat, um, it seems that it's going to be, in terms of trim levels, very, very similar to what they exist. It may have a new top trim level, but that's kind of TBD. How that matches up, and the way things look is it's going to have a lot of similarities to what is existing already in the Tundra as far as trim levels go. It's got a standard I-Force turbocharged 2.4 cylinder engine that will produce 278 horsepower, 317 pounds of torque. It will also come later with an I-Force Max hybrid powertrain that produces up to 326 horsepower, so another 50 or so horsepower, and 465 pounds of torque. So the new 4Runner is built on the TNGA-F global truck platform that is shared with Tacoma, Land Cruiser, Tundra, and Sequoia. And it utilizes high-strength box steel ladder frame and features multi-coil rear and double wishbone front suspension. Now, from what we've seen, they've really stuck the landing on this for the 4Runner. A lot of people were concerned about where it would be. They haven't released prices yet. No one's had a chance to drive it except Toyota people. So right now, the lowest price 4Runner, and mind you, this is 15-year-old technology, is a V6, and it starts at $40,705 for the two-wheel drive version. It's another $2,000 for four-wheel drive, and that runs all the way up to $55,000 for the TRD Pro version. So that's their range. That's where they're going from 40, give or take, to about 55. Now, remember those numbers. So it still comes with our rear window. Um, it's got a lot of the same colors. It's a very similar design. It's not exceedingly it's not breaking the box. I mean they seem to know what the market for this vehicle wants, and they're not going to stray very far from it. Um, this is not to say that the current Forerunner isn't selling well. It's just very outdated technology, and they can get a much more efficient powertrain. So that's good for a lot of reasons, and we'll see how it plays out. But that's kind of, in my mind, that's the big announcement. And again, we'll be talking more about that in the weeks ahead. So you also have the Tacoma, which is on dealers' lots right now. It's getting great reviews. It's one of the few trucks you can still get with a standard, and that's a big deal to a lot of people. Their price range from a 4x2 SR, extra cab, long wheelbase, from 31,000 all the way up to the top level 4x4 limited with a double cab, short wheelbase at 52,000. And so that's still in their sweet spot of the market, and they sell a lot of them. And but they've been doing it for a while, so good for them. Then also, what happens is we saw uh, driven reviews of the new Land Cruiser. Now, the Land Cruiser in the whole big product lineup is kind of a rethink of something that used to exist, and now it's being put in to slotted lower in the market than it originally used to be. It used to be a very high end vehicle, and it still had trappings of luxury. It's more luxurious for when you're going off road, or if you're not going off road, whatever it is. It's a name vehicle that people remember and really really like. And so the pricing right now goes from 55,900, which is just inches above the current price of the top end Forerunner, and it goes up to essentially $75,000. It's got three trim levels: the Land Cruiser 1958, which is the one with the round headlights, the Land Cruiser, I hope that makes sense, and the first edition. And they're all equipped exclusively with that iForce Max hybrid, so it's 326 horsepower, 460 feet, 465 pound-feet of torque. And it's got, some heritage Land Cruiser design elements that it brings along, and I think it's a really sharp car, and I think a lot of people have questions about where it fits in the marketplace, and I'm gonna defer to Toyota, um, who can probably understands the market better than I can, sitting outside, as to how this plays out. It goes from your smaller SUVs, the Rav4s, and then to the Highlanders, and then your off-road vehicles, which all these are kind of brand themselves as. Um, the, there's been some driven reviews of it, particularly if you want to check one out. It's the Throttle House review, which is they're going to have to make an excuse to Toyota, an apology to Toyota for kind of bashing one of their new cars up. But they really liked it. They thought it was a quite admirable vehicle, and that's what I've been seeing a lot of as well. So lastly, and we're getting off of trucks here, we have the Camry, one of Toyota's bread and butter cars. The new Camry will be coming out with a hybrid power system, 225 horsepower for front wheel drive, 232 for all wheel drive. It's a 2.5 liter, four cylinder, 16 valve, dual overhead cam. It's got uh, between the two motors, like I said, 225 horsepower, 232 horsepower. They're expected to arrive within the month or so. They say late spring 2024. Again, a whole different bunch of trim levels, some sportier, some not, some your basic. Um, Starting MSRP of $28,400, which is $400 less than the outgoing Camry hybrid. Um, the winning point here, is one of them is that the depending on the trim level, depending on four-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, depending on the model, depending on the drivetrain configuration in terms of front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, the model ranges, and this is city, highway, and combined, from 44, 43, and 44 for the XSE, up to, for the LE, 53, 50, and 51. And you have other stops in between depending on your model. So that's good. That's a big model for Toyota. And even though that they import mostly, companies still make a lot of sedans. So there must be a market for it, and Camry drivers are very, very loyal. So that's a part of it, I'm sure, as well. But and if you want to go back to see our Accord episode, but they tried to make the Camry a little bit more sporty in some of the models this year. The looks are not as weird as they have been in the past. That's my opinion. So we'll see. And, good for them. Good for them as to how they've, put this all together. It remains to be seen driving for the 4Runner, road test for the 4Runner. So we'll start to see that soon, I hope. And that's what we got for this month. So we've got a couple submissions for that weird car that you like, but no one else does. And here's our first one from a longtime friend of the show, Dawn. And she's going to talk about several that she really likes.
Hey fellas, so I'm Don Ennis and I work at Fox 61 with Doug, and you wanted to know about my weird cars that I love? Okay, so that's one of the weird cars. It is a Chevy Volt from 2013, and what's great about it is we can drive it around town. It gets 38 miles on hybrid energy, on electric, and it plugs in, and if we want to, we could drive it, further because it has a gas engine, but it's weird. I have a normal car too, a RAV4. But the weird car I really want is the answer to a question nobody asks. A Nissan Murano convertible. I know it's out there for me somewhere. That's the car, the weird car I love. Back to you, fellas.
Thanks, Don. I really appreciate your submitting that entry. And that's what I have for this week. Might be a little bit bumpy for the next couple of weeks for a lot of reasons, but we will try to have an episode of some sort every week, despite illness and schedules and all that other stuff that happens. In any case, you can continue to send in your weird car ideas. Send that to weirdcars@dstewart@fox61.com, and I'll look over those. Other than that, thanks for watching this week, and we'll see you again soon.